Hi, welcome back to me, motivating, educating, and engaging. In one of my last videos, I was talking about the impact of mental health, and we know how big of an issue that is for our communities, for families, for children, and everybody. Nobody's exempt. And one of the questions I raised then is, when is my good enough good enough? Because we get judged by what people think, by what people say, by how people see us. And we use that as a yardstick to try to strive for perfection or try to be better. I'm not saying we shouldn't strive. I'm not saying we shouldn't, get better. I'm not saying we shouldn't improve. But when do we need to stop and reflect and say, you know what? I'm doing well here. You know what? Even if you don't want to say I'm good, I believe I'm doing well. I'm not there yet. Like somebody always says, and I've taken that on board, said, I'm not where I'm going, where I'm supposed to be, but I'm not going back from where I came from. So we have to look at that. So today, let's think about more aspects of when is your good enough good enough? When is my good enough good enough? Many times we want to look at issues like, let's look at the home. Should I how tidy is my home? And you want to make sure that it's the best, how it can be. Or sometimes you might think, oh, I need to get my child into the best schools. And when you don't, you feel like a failure. Or when you don't clean up, you feel like you're a rubbish mom, you're a rubbish dad. You don't know what to do. You don't know what you're saying. These are things that we get judged by. But we need to take a step back and think about, you know what? No, it's not about that. It's about, what have I done? Where am I coming from? And where am I going? So when is it? When we do things and we feel that we failed, then we don't want to get up and go on. But we can get up and go on. So as a parent, it's not about the ideal. It's about being okay. Like somebody said, I like that phrase, I'm okay, I'm on my way. So don't think about it's got to be the best it ever can be. No, be okay because you're on a journey. And that's what I always tell my learners. I tell people around me, we are all on a journey and we're not going to get it perfect all the time. We're not going to be 100% every time, but we can be okay. We can be okay for our children. We can be okay for our spouses. We can be okay at work. What about the fact that even in our relationships, we all have dark moments in our relationships. Nothing always goes good all the time, but we need to celebrate the good times. We need to think about what has worked and what can we work at to get better. Not that we just focus on the bad things. Your relationship is good enough. You can make it good enough. Also, what about your job? There are times that the job might be boring. There are jobs that you're not earning enough money. You're not happy with it. While you're on that journey for improvement, let's think about the good times, the good colleagues you have, the times of excitement, of the challenges. I told one of the things I've learned about my job and the work I do, nothing is the same every day, and that's the way I like it. Some people, you might not be me. I'm not you. Some of you are very comfortable with a 9 to 5, but enjoy it when you can and while you can, because it can be good enough if you want it to be good enough. You don't get judged and don't feel guilty about people saying this, that you're not doing what you should do because you're not good enough. That is what we need to think about. So it's about keeping going. Your life might feel ordinary, but keep going. It takes bravery to keep going on. Be brave and keep going. It's also about persevering, whether through love, your children, the job, you keep going. Don't give in, don't give up. That makes you good enough. It's also about taking a step back and acknowledging what you've done, celebrating what you've done, looking at the world, looking at the situations in a real way, not in rose glass or tinted glass situations, the perfect life. Because if you look at the perfect life, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be satisfied, and you will complain, and then you will feel guilty, and then you know that, oh, my good enough is not good enough. But I'm saying, take a step back and enjoy what you are doing because you are good enough. So that's when you and I can think, you know what? My good enough is good enough. So I'm not letting nobody judge me. Nobody judge me. Nobody judge me. And I'm not going to feel guilty. Thank you for watching me today. Let your good enough be good enough.